Okay, Emma, I need you to close your eyes for a second. No, seriously, close them. Imagine this. It is Monday morning. You just walked into the office. You have your coffee. You feel okay. Life is normal. Then your manager walks toward you. He has that look on his face. You know the look. The I need something from you look.
Oh no, I already do not like this story.
He says, "Hey, great news. In the team meeting at 2 o'clock, I need you to give a short presentation about your project. Just 1 minute. Easy, right?" And then he walks away, just like that. He does not even wait for your answer.
Of course he does not wait. Managers never wait.
And suddenly, your coffee doesn't taste good anymore. Your hands feel cold. Your heart starts beating like a drum inside your chest. And your brain, your beautiful English-learning brain, suddenly goes completely blank. Every word you studied last night, gone. Every phrase you practiced, disappeared. You can't even remember how to say good morning.
This is so real, James. I feel this in my stomach right now, just hearing you describe it.
And that feeling, my dear listeners, is exactly what we're going to destroy today. Not reduce, not manage, destroy. Because today is a special moment in our journey together on Mr. English Podcast. We're going to talk about something many of us experience at work, giving a short presentation. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Mr. English Podcast. I'm James.
And I'm Emma, and we are so happy you are here with us today.
If this is your first time listening, hello, you are in the right place. We talk about real English, real situations, real life, and we make it easy. Always easy.
And if you have been with us before, you already know how we do it here. We just talk like real people, and you just listen and learn. That simple.
Now, before we jump in, please, please, please subscribe to Mr. English Podcast. Wherever you are listening right now, hit that subscribe button. It helps us so much.
And share this episode with a friend who is also learning English, or a friend who is also terrified of presentations. Because honestly, that's most of us.
Okay, so presentations at work. Let's get into it.
James, I want to start with a story, because I think stories are the best way to understand something real.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, so a few years ago, I had a colleague. Her name was Priya. She was incredibly smart, like genuinely one of the most knowledgeable people in the whole team. She knew everything about the project, every number, every detail, every problem, and every solution.
Sounds like a dream team member.
Totally. But every time there was a team meeting and the manager asked her to share an update, she would just go silent. Like, she would look at the floor, her voice would get very, very quiet, and she would say something like, yes, so the thing is, we did some work, and yeah, it's going okay.
Oh no.
Right? And everyone would just nod politely, but nobody actually understood what she said. Not because she was wrong, but because she had no structure, no beginning, no middle, no end, just words floating in the air.
I think so many people relate to this, especially when English is not your first language. You have the knowledge, you have the ideas, but putting it together out loud in front of people, that's a completely different skill.
Completely different. And the sad part, her manager started giving the presentation opportunities to other people, not because Priya wasn't good enough, but because she couldn't show it clearly.
That's honestly a little heartbreaking.
It is. But here's the good news. It has a happy ending. And we'll get to that.
Oh, good. I need a happy ending. So, Emma, let's talk about why presentations feel so scary first. Because I think before we learn the how, we need to understand the why. Why is speaking in front of people so terrifying?
Okay, so there are actually a few really common reasons. And James, I want you to be honest. Have you ever felt this way too?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. You want me to tell you my story?
Yes, tell us.
Okay, so early in my career, I had to give a presentation to a small team, like maybe 8 people, just 8 people sitting around a table. And I prepared for it, I really did. I wrote everything down, I practiced at home, I felt ready.
Okay, I feel it coming.
So, I walk in, I sit down. The manager says, James, do you want to start? And I opened my mouth and I forgot everything. Like genuinely everything. My mind was completely blank. I just stared at my paper and read every single word like a robot. Monotone. No emotion, no eye contact, just, hello, today I will talk about the project.
I know,
Oh,
I know. It was
dang.
terrible. Afterwards, my colleague said, "Hey, that was interesting." And interesting in that context definitely did not mean good.
But you survived. That is the important thing.
I survived and I learned, and that is exactly what we want for our listeners today. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to start.
Okay, so let us talk about the real stuff now, the structure. Because, James, I think the number one reason people freeze during a presentation is they do not know how to organize what they want to say.
Totally agree. It's not that they don't have things to say. They have too many things to say, and they don't know where to start.
Exactly. So here's the beautiful thing we want to share today, a simple 3-part structure. It works for a 1-minute presentation, it works for a 5-minute presentation, and honestly, it even works for a 20-minute presentation. But we're focusing on 1 minute today.
Because 1 minute is perfect for B1 level. It's enough to show your ideas, it's short enough to manage, and it's actually what most managers want anyway. They don't want long, they want clear.
Yes, managers love short and clear. Remember that. Short and clear is your best friend at work.
Okay, so the 3 parts. Tell us, Emma.
All right. Part 1, the opening. Part 2, the main point. Part 3, the closing. And that's it. Really, that's the whole structure.
So simple, but so powerful.
Yes, because simple doesn't mean weak. Simple means I know my topic well enough to explain it clearly. That's actually a sign of intelligence, not a sign of limitation.
I love that. Say it again.
Simple does not mean weak. Simple means I know my topic well enough to explain it clearly.
Perfect. Okay, let's go through each part, one by one. Part 1, the opening. Now, Emma, what does a good opening sound like?
So the opening has one job only. It tells people what you're going to talk about. That's it. You don't need to be funny. You don't need to tell a story. You don't need a big dramatic introduction. Just tell them the topic.
And how do we do that in simple English?
Easy phrases. For example, today I want to share a quick update about our sales numbers. Or, I have a brief update on the new project timeline. Or, I want to talk about one important change that happened this week.
Short, clear, direct.
Exactly. And here's the thing. When you open with a clear sentence like that, you do 2 things at once. First, you tell the audience what's coming. And second, you calm yourself down because you know your first line. You practiced it. You own it.
That's such a good point. Knowing your first line is so important because the first 10 seconds are the hardest. After that, it gets easier.
So much easier. Once you start, the words start to come. But that first moment, okay, I'm speaking now, that's the mountain. And having a prepared, simple opening sentence is it's like having a map. You know exactly where you're going.
I remember when I started preparing my opening line in advance, it changed everything. I stopped blanking out at the start because I didn't have to think. I just had to say the one sentence I already knew.
Yes, practice your first sentence so many times that it feels automatic. That's the goal.
Okay, part 2, the main point. Emma, this is the body of the presentation. What goes here?
So in a 1-minute presentation, you only have one main point, maybe 2, but ideally just one, because 1 minute is short. If you try to say 5 things in 1 minute, nobody will remember any of them.
Less is more.
Less is absolutely more. So your main point should answer one of these questions. What happened? What's the problem? What did you find out? What's the result? What's your suggestion?
Just one clear answer to one clear question.
Right. And then, and this is important, you give one detail or one example to support it. Just one, not 5. One.
Can you give us an example, like a real sentence someone might say at work?
Of course. So imagine you work in a team that's tracking customer feedback. Your main point might be, this week we received more feedback than usual. About 60% of customers mentioned that our delivery is too slow.
Simple, clear, one point, one detail.
Exactly. You're not solving the problem yet. You're not explaining the entire history of the company. You're just sharing one clear piece of information. That's what the main point section does.
And I think what's so valuable here, especially for English learners, is that you don't need fancy vocabulary. You just need the right information in the right order.
Yes, native speakers are not impressed by big words. They're impressed by clarity. Can I understand you
I worked
quickly?
with someone once
That's
who
all.
used very
That's the test.
complicated vocabulary in every presentation. Long sentences, technical words, and honestly, nobody knew what he was saying.
It happens, and it is not his fault. He thought more complex equals more professional. But actually, no. Clear equals professional.
Clear equals professional. Write that down, listeners. That is gold.
Okay, part 3, the closing. And James, I think this is the part people forget the most.
Oh, completely. People just end. Like they say their last piece of information and then they look around awkwardly and say, yes, so that is it, I think.
Yes, the awkward "that is it" ending. We all know it. We have all done it.
So what is a good closing?
A good closing does one of two things, or both. First, it summarizes in one sentence. Just say the main point again, but differently. For example, so, to summarize, our delivery speed is the main concern from customers right now.
And the second thing?
The second thing is you end with an action or an invitation, like, I think we should discuss this in our next team meeting, or I'm happy to answer any questions, or even just, that is my update. Thank you for listening.
That last one is so underrated. Just thank you for listening. Clean, respectful, professional.
Exactly. It tells people, I am done now. You do not have to guess. Because one of the awkward things in presentations is people don't know when you're finished. So you end clearly and everyone relaxes.
Including yourself.
Including yourself, yes.
Okay, so we have the structure. Opening, main point, closing. Now let's talk about the delivery, because the words are one thing, but how you say them, that matters a lot too.
Yes. And I want to start with the most common mistake, speaking too fast. James, is this something you've noticed?
Oh, constantly. And I understand why it happens. When you're nervous, your brain tells your mouth, go faster, finish sooner, get off the stage.
Right? Your nervous brain is not helpful. It's like a panicking friend giving you terrible advice.
So the solution is, before you start speaking, take one breath, just one. Slow breath in, slow breath out, and then begin. That one breath actually slows your speed down naturally.
It really does. I tried this before a meeting once, and honestly, I went from racing car speed to normal human speed just from one breath. It sounds too simple to work, but it absolutely works.
And the other thing about speed, when you speak slowly and clearly, people think you're confident even if you don't feel confident. The speed you speak at tells a story before your words even arrive.
Slow and clear says, I know what I'm saying. I'm comfortable. You can trust me. Fast and mumbly says, I'm not sure about this. Please don't ask me questions.
Okay, fast and mumbly is my new favorite phrase.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about something else that really matters in delivery, and that's eye contact. Now, Emma, I know this is especially hard when English is not your first language because you want to look at your notes, you want to read your paper, you want to look at the floor, anywhere but faces.
Oh gosh, yes. I remember when I watched Priya, the colleague I mentioned earlier, she always looked down. And honestly, it made the audience lose focus too. Because if the speaker doesn't look at you, it feels like the message is not for you.
That's so true. Eye contact is connection. It says, I'm talking to you. This matters. I want you to hear this.
So here's a simple trick for eye contact that actually works for beginners. Don't try to look at everyone at the same time. That's overwhelming. Instead, pick one friendly face. Just one person who looks relaxed or interested, and talk to them for a moment. Then move to another face, then another.
So it's like having small individual conversations within the big presentation.
Exactly. And it feels much more natural, both for you and for the audience, because the audience feels like you're including them personally.
And if you're really struggling with eye contact, here's my backup tip. Look at people's foreheads. They can't tell the difference from where they're sitting, but it looks like eye contact.
James, that's actually brilliant and slightly sneaky at the same time.
I call it the advanced beginner move.
I love it. Okay, James, I want to come back to Priya
Yes,
now
tell me
because
what
I
happened.
promised the happy
So,
ending.
Priya was really affected by those moments where her updates were not landing well. And one day, she came to me and she said, "Emma, I need to get better at this. I know my stuff, but I cannot communicate it, and it is starting to really hurt my confidence."
That is brave to admit, actually. That takes self-awareness.
It really does. So we sat down together one evening, just in the office break room with coffee, and I shared this exact structure with her: opening, main point, closing. And then I said, "Practice it on me. Pretend I am the team. Give me a 1-minute update."
And how did it go?
First time, she rushed through it, too fast, looking at the floor, voice quiet. But the structure was there. And I said, "Priya, the structure is perfect. Now just slow down and look at me." Second time, she slowed down, looked up, and I could actually understand everything she said, clearly.
Just from one practice?
Just from one practice. And when she walked into the next team meeting, she opened with one clear sentence: "I want to share a quick update on the new client responses from last week." The whole room looked at her, and she continued: clear, calm, one main point, one example, and a clean closing. I think this is worth discussing. Happy to answer questions.
And
And the manager said, "Great update, Priya. Really clear. Thank you." And I watched Priya's face in that moment. She smiled, not a big dramatic smile, just a quiet, private smile, like, "I did it."
that is genuinely beautiful.
It was. And after the meeting, she came to me and whispered, "Did that actually work?" And I said, "Yes, Priya, it absolutely worked."
This is exactly why we talk about things like this on the podcast, because it's not just about English, it's about confidence. It's about finding your voice in any language.
Yes, your voice matters, even when it shakes, even when you're nervous, even when English is your second or third language. You deserve to be heard.
Okay, let us do something practical now. Let us give our listeners a full example of a 1-minute presentation, a complete one, with all 3 parts, so they can hear what it actually sounds like.
Great idea. And let's make the scenario something very relatable. How about you work in a small company, there's a weekly team meeting, and your manager asks you to give a quick update on how a new tool your team has been using is working out.
Perfect. Okay, so here's what a clear, well-structured 1-minute presentation sounds like.
Opening. Good morning, everyone. I want to share a quick update on the new scheduling tool we started using 2 weeks ago.
Main point. Overall, the feedback from the team has been positive. Most people find it easier to manage their tasks now. However, we noticed one issue. Some team members are not sure how to set up automatic reminders. Because of this, a few deadlines were almost missed.
Closing. My suggestion is that we do a short 10-minute tutorial for everyone next week. That should solve the confusion. Thank you. Happy to answer questions.
And that's it. That's a complete presentation in roughly 60 seconds with all 3 parts.
And notice, the vocabulary was not complicated. Every sentence was short and clear. There was one main point, one problem, one solution, and it ended cleanly with an invitation for questions.
No fancy words, no long sentences, just information, organized, delivered calmly.
And that's what your manager actually wants. Not a performance, not a show. Just tell me what I need to know, clearly, quickly.
Emma, let's also talk about what to do when things go wrong, because they will sometimes. You'll forget a word, you'll lose your place, you'll start a sentence and not know how to finish it. This happens to everyone.
Oh, absolutely. And this is where English learners sometimes feel extra pressure, because not only are you nervous about the presentation, you're also nervous about making a grammar mistake or forgetting a word in English.
So what do we do in those moments?
First, pause. That's always step one. Just pause. Take a breath. Don't try to rush through the confusion. A pause looks like confidence, believe it or not.
It really does. People think you're thinking carefully. They respect that.
Exactly. And then, if you forget a word, just say, "Let me rephrase that." Or, "What I mean is," and then say it a different way, simpler. You don't need the exact word you forgot, you need the idea, and ideas can always be expressed in simple words.
I love that. You don't need the perfect word. You need the right idea.
And if you completely lose your place, it's absolutely okay to look at your notes. Nobody expects you to memorize everything. Looking at a small note is professional. Staring at a full script and reading every word
So,
robotically,
notes, yes.
that's the
Full
thing
script,
to avoid.
no.
Bullet points are your best friend. Write 3 bullet points max. Opening, main point, closing. Just 3 words to remind you. That is enough.
I still use bullet points, even now, because a tiny reminder is so much better than trying to hold everything in your head at once.
Same. And I think that is an important message for our listeners. Using notes is not weakness. It is being organized. It is being professional.
All right, let us do a quick summary of everything we talked about today, because I want our listeners to walk away with something really clear and usable.
Yes, let us do it.
1. A short work presentation has 3 parts: opening, main point, and closing. Simple, clean, easy to remember.
2. Your opening tells the audience what you are going to talk about. Prepare your first sentence in advance. Know it. Own it. It will calm you down.
3. Your main point has one idea and one supporting detail or example. Only one. Less is more, always.
4. Your closing summarizes or ends with an action. Something like, happy to answer questions, or thank you for listening. End clearly so people know you are done.
5. Speak slowly. Take one breath before you start. Slow speed signals confidence, even when you do not feel confident.
6. Make eye contact with friendly faces, or use the forehead trick. Thank you, James, for that one.
You are very welcome. 7. If you lose your place, pause. If you forget a word, rephrase. Notes are fine. Bullet points are your friends.
And 8, practice out loud, not in your head, out loud. Because speaking is a physical skill. Your mouth, your breath, your voice, they need practice just like your brain does.
Practice out loud, even in your room alone, even in the shower, even in the car. Every time you practice out loud, you get better. Every single time.
Because Priya did not become clearer because she read about presentations. She became clearer because she practiced out loud with a real listener. And then she did it for real in the meeting. And it worked.
And that transformation from quiet and unseen to clear and heard, that is available to every single one of our listeners. Not just Priya, every single one.
You know, James, I want to say something a little personal before we close today.
Go ahead.
I think the reason public speaking feels so scary, especially in a second language, is because we are afraid of judgment. We are afraid people will think, oh, she made a grammar mistake, or his accent is strange, or she forgot a word. And we carry this fear into every single sentence.
And it's heavy. That fear is genuinely heavy to carry.
It is. But here's what I've learned from years of watching people in meetings and presentations. People aren't listening for your mistakes, they're listening for your message. They want to understand you. They're rooting for you, not against you.
Yes, most colleagues, most managers, they're on your side. They want you to succeed. Because when you communicate clearly, it makes their lives easier too.
So the next time you're asked to give an update or a short presentation, instead of thinking, I hope I don't make mistakes, think, I have something useful to share, and I'm going to share it as clearly as I can.
That's the mindset shift, from fear to purpose, from don't mess up to I have something worth saying.
And you do. You absolutely do. Every single person listening right now, you have something worth saying. In English, at work, in life.
That felt very real, Emma. Thank you.
Sorry, I got a little emotional there.
No, don't apologize. That's what this podcast is about. Real talk, real encouragement, real English. All right, beautiful people, we're wrapping up for today. And honestly, this one felt special to me.
Same, because this topic, giving a presentation at work, it's one of those things that sounds so small. Just 1 minute, James. Just say a few sentences. But actually, it's a moment that can change how people see you. And more importantly, it can change how you see yourself.
1 minute, 3 parts, 1 breath, and a lot of courage. That's all you need.
And practice. Don't forget the practice.
Yes, practice out loud. Starting today, not tomorrow, today.
Now, before we go, we have a small but very important request. If you're listening to Mr. English Podcast and it's helping you, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It takes 2 seconds, and it helps us reach more English learners who need
Share this
exactly what you
episode.
are getting.
Send it to a
right
friend. Send it to a colleague who is also nervous about speaking at work, because good things are worth sharing. And this community, this Mr. English Podcast family, it grows one listener at a time.
We would also love to hear from you. Have you ever had to give a presentation at work? Was it terrifying? Was it surprisingly okay? Did you ever have a Priya moment where you knew the content but could not get the words out?
Tell us in the comments. We read every single one, and we love hearing your stories because, honestly, your stories inspire our episodes.
And if you tried the 3-part structure after listening today, an opening, a main point, a closing, tell us how it went. We want to celebrate with you.
Because every time you open your mouth and try, in English, in a meeting, in front of people, that is a win. Full stop. No exceptions.
Remember, your voice matters, even when it shakes, even when the words are not perfect. Even when your heart is beating like crazy, your voice still matters.
This is Mr. English Podcast. I am James.
And I am Emma, and we will see you tomorrow.
Until then, keep speaking, keep practicing, and keep being brave, because every single word you speak in English is proof that you never gave up.
And that is the most powerful thing in the world.
Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.